Hello everyone and welcome back to Abundant Automation. So we left the last episode on the joyous discovery of automation. So that's progress, yay. And our next order of business will certainly be military. I want bigger guns, because that's what we'll do around here. So for that also want to go with some automated production here. So we'll need copper in here, iron in there, and red science packs, and gear wheels. Now power ahoy, and that should be that. Very nice. Grab some more resources, fire up these miners again, here, coal for everyone. Okay, so next up, let's just have some basic components being made. So what do I want to automate? Magazines, belts, green circuits. Probably a bit of everything. So yeah, let's do. It's very clever of me. Let's actually put that chest, there. Make that iron gear wheels, make this belts. And then does it fit? Not really. No, but no problem. I think we can already do long-handeds. So we'll just do this. That is military, and then I'll also want turrets. This is gonna be copper cable. Not the fastest production in the world, but it's production nonetheless. So give me maybe 100 belts, one stack of that. And there we go. Now this is going to eat through our pitiful iron supply fairly quickly. So next up on the list, smelting. Now for that, might actually be a good idea to go out into the wilderness and explore a bit about our surroundings, but I think just from what I would guess about this terrain is that to the southeast would be a pretty decent place. Well, we'll see about that. First of all, let's get a submachine gun. A couple more magazines. I didn't actually automate these, but well, if I keep handcrafting of other stuff to a minimum, he says, queuing up a whole bunch of inserters, should be fine. Yeah, so let's do a little bit of exploreneering. Now this is the, now that's turrets. Another very basic research we'll need. So there we go. That's spider base number 1 already. Oh no, that's actually oil. So the spider base isn't quite inside the pollution. but it will soon be. So defenses to the west, necessity. Let's make a tour all the way around our pollution cloud and look for more biter bases there. Seems to be some more movement down there. Now, early game, I don't actually want to do too much about the bases themselves. It's just, without semi-cheats like autofill, it's too much of a hassle to do, to go in the offensive before combat shotgun and robots. So I'll just do the bare necessities until then, and as soon as we hit that mid-game tech, it's gonna be alien genocide. Alright, seems like a very friendly open field down here. Not much vegetation. That's both good and bad, as I said. It's mainly good, I would say. I mean, the amount of time you save by not having to chop down trees for an hour more than compensates for the fact that you have to spend a little bit of time bringing up defenses sooner than you would otherwise have to. Plus it means that your base really is defended when it needs to be, and you're not in the situation where you forego early game or early mid-game defenses because you never needed them, and then sometime later you find that you have biters in the middle of your 4 blue belts of iron factory, and you have no idea where that came from. Right, so we have a biter nest there, also not inside the pollution cloud, but soon to be, so that's something to be aware of. Now let's take a quick jaunt up north and find out about that as well. But I really like the southeast direction for expansion because it's open ground. I don't know how this biome would be called, whether it's just steppes or grasslands or something. But there's not much vegetation and also not many rocks, because if you're in a desert, there's lots of rocks. And for some reason in this game you of course can't chop down or mine rocks with your pickaxe, which, well, if you can use your pickaxe to destroy factories and to chop down trees, well, you would suppose that you can use it to destroy a couple of rocks, but no. You need to use ammunition for that, and armor-piercing rounds would be the most advisable. Alright, so far we spent about 10 minutes just running around and finding out a bit about our environment, but it now means that we have a pretty good idea what we're up against. Don't think that biters will expand this early on in the game, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not going to play with expansion chunks displayed for the time being. If you don't know what expansion chunks are, they are... well, I might as well show them. Where are they? Enemy expansion candidate chunks. So you bring up this menu by pressing F4, and then you can go to Always and Show Enemy Expansion Candidate Chunks. And this will display all the chunks. So one chunk is like this big. It's, I think, 32 by 32 tiles. And green circles mean chunks where enemies can expand to. And it's basically an area between two concentric circles around every biter base. And wherever there's another biter base or something that you built, the biters cannot expand. So an obvious solution to the biter problem, once you know about that, is just to kill all the biters and then place some worthless item, like a power pole or a belt, a victory pole, every 3 chunks or so, or every 5 chunks. I don't actually know how far apart you have to space them. And then no biters can spawn there. So that's a little cheaty. And we're totally gonna do it later on in the game, because biters are a pain in the rear end, and I feel past a certain point in the game they don't add anything anymore. You know, early to mid game I get it, because if you're not careful you can actually lose the game to biter attacks early on. But once you reach like critical mass, there's no way that biters can damage you so much that you can't rebuild. And at that point all you're losing is time, of which I for one don't have an infinite supply. But we'll see about that. We're obviously quite far away from that stage. But the stage we are currently at is getting furnaces going. So where do we want to furnace? How do we want to furnace? I think having a main bus run vertically down here would be one idea. Another idea might be to have it go horizontally. Oh, sorry, I had to cough again there. Yeah, so we could also do somewhat of an L shape. I've also debated doing a bidirectional bus where we have like a number of iron and copper, so 2 iron and 3 copper lanes coming out of the smelting lines, going, for instance, north, and then bringing green circuits down with them. But I think it doesn't really make a difference. So what we'll do is get a whole bunch of furnaces. Well, also, do we need to... No, we don't need to craft turrets just yet, so yeah, we won't. More iron for the Iron God. Let's get some of those. More transport belts, more inserters. Alright, so furnace layout wise, I want the furnaces to be expandable to electric furnaces, because at some point I'll want to put productivity modules in them. One thing about this is this little pond up here. Since we're not playing with landfill, this could be a problem if not planned for. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles in between placeable tiles here. It's somewhat of a problem. I'd rather have my furnaces spaced 4 tiles or even less. I think what we'll do is just align them with this and have them bring out resources to the east. Then again, we'll pretty soon run into that nest over there. Probably overcomplicating this. Let's get steel processing going. But then again, right now we do have the time to think about stuff like this, because getting those first furnace columns going will be fairly resource intensive compared to what we've been doing before. I think what I'll do is just start the furnace area. Oops. Start the furnace area to the east of this this little pond, so that we don't have it interfering with our desires. That should pretty much be whatever we need. Or we just go down here. I think it would be a more prudent option. Well, the thing is, I don't actually know how far back I want to go here. Nah, but we'll always be able to change it later. And if this pond does really annoy me so much that I can't stand it, I won't be above installing landfill and just fixing it. But don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone, please. Alright, so this will be the end of our smelting columns. Seems good enough. Yeah, let's flush them up with this chunk border down here. So that's that. Go around like this. Okay, are we gonna do this? Let's do 24. Yeah, 24 seems good, so that's 12 per side. Oh. 12 per side, leave space for a power pole in between. Like so. Yeah, 24 steel furnaces, so not those. 24 of the next level will be enough to fully compress a yellow belt. I think that's a bit too much actually, but it's some odd number that you can round to 24. So what we'll do is somewhat load balance on both sides and then rely on a splitter. On a splitter down there to actually do the merging for us. Alright, then gonna do one fuel line and one resource line per furnace assembly. Another 6, 8, 10 and 12 over here. That's gonna be our output. And same thing here. Do the rebalancing. Okay, so that's that. Let's have a quick thought about what was that? Oh, let's just get some. Well, let's have a quick thought about expandability. So once we go to electric furnaces, one of these two will go away because we don't need coal anymore. So let's say it's the left one. We could just expand. Yeah, we would say all of this expands one square to the right. So then this square will be furnace. This will be inserters. This will be ore input. This will be inserters, furnace, 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 inserter, and then output. So I'm going to mark this so that I don't accidentally build something, at least not something big there. And then for the time being, I'm going to leave a 4 gap, yeah, 4 wide between those assemblies, so that we'll always be able to fit a roboport anywhere in between. Seemed like a good enough thing to do to me. So that's more inserters, but we're gonna need even more inserters because, well, you always need more inserters. And on that note, we shall end the episode. So thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting some of the associated buttons and or comment below. I've been Described, and I hope to see you soon.